If you guys have seen the brand new preview, they touched a little bit on something for Phase 4, talking about racial bonuses. Now, I want to play this one clip, see what you guys think about this. It's basically a quick information / quick introduction, is that they will make it so that you can pick and choose the weapon skills. So for example, sword skill from being a human was pretty massive back in the day. It's pretty massive right now as well, but at least at level 60, because so many of the good items at level 60, they're swords. So having sword skill as a human, for example, is really, really good. And it's a reason why a lot of people, well, not the only reason, but a pretty big reason why people chose to play Alliance and also play humans back in Classic WoW. And in Phase 4, based on their preview right here, you're going to be able to pick and choose weapon skills from racial bonuses. So you can be an orc with sword skill. How do we feel about this? Like, what's some quick thoughts on that coming in Phase 4? Let me know in chat while we're playing a clip here. I want to see exactly what they have to say, just get a quick TLDR, because they only touched about this really quickly in the video as well.
Another very frequently asked question we've received is, what about weapon skill racial bonuses? From the start, we've suggested that you shouldn't need to worry too much about things like orc and human weapon skills long term, and that you should feel good about choosing whatever race you want based on their aesthetics or other bonuses that race gets apart from weapon skill bonus. Every phase, we get asked for a status update on this, and we just wanted to confirm that yes, the solution is coming at level 60. At level 60, you will be able to discover a method to essentially swap in and out up to 2 weapon skill bonuses for your character. So, for example, if I were a Troll Fury warrior and I had a mace and a dagger, I could swap my passive bonuses to +5 maces and +5 daggers. Please note that these weapon skill bonuses do not stack with each other or with a certain race's normal passive weapon skill bonus. So in the same scenario, if I were a human warrior, I already get +5 maces from my racial skill, so instead I might want to use +5 bows and +5 daggers so that maybe my bow skill had a better chance to hit if I was pulling higher level mobs. Just like your racial skills, however, these passives will stack with any weapon skill you gain from items, such as Obsidian Edge Blade or Maladath Ruined Blade of the Black Flight. These unlockable passives will be available right at level 60, and while there will be a short discovery to unlock them, everyone who wants them will have access to them early on. Continuing that line of thought, yes, priests will also be able to unlock other races' unique priest spells as well, such as Devouring Plague and Fear Ward. We don't want to spoil how this will work just yet, but just like weapon skills, we do get asked about this a lot and wanted to confirm that this was also coming and would be available early on at level 60. There will also be discoveries tied to accessing these spells as well. So this is the last big item in our level 60 preview.
Okay, so you're going to be able to pick and choose your racials, but they only talked about weapon skill and not things like Blood Fury, Berserking Rage. They talked about priest racials, which is good, by the way. You're able to choose those now. But what about... I'm just going to make an example here. So if you take this away for a quick second, we can take this away and go to the character creation screen. You can now be an orc. And if I pick orc right here, they get skill with axes increased, and it didn't stack with that. So as an orc, you can choose axes like you have here, and then you can pick swords. So you can have one axe, like one-handed axe, and one one-handed sword. And you get your axe skill from being an orc, and you get the sword skill from picking the sword skill that you can now pick as well. On top of that, orcs have this, May and Rage, increasing damage but diminishing the ability to be healed. Now that's basically called Blood Fury. It's going to be increasing your damage output, and it's shifting the meta from where you would be a human to now you want to be an orc. So a lot of people that initially rolled Alliance for output, like when it comes to min-maxing, you should not choose your class based on min-maxing, but we're living in 2024. People do this, they choose their class based on min-maxing. How many Night Elf rogues do you see out there? How many Night Elf warriors do you see out there? How many Night Elf hunters do you see out there? How many Night Elf priests do you see out there? We're living in a world where, yes, you should pick your race based on whatever you feel like, but people pick their race based on performance. If human warriors are the best ones, people choose human warriors. There's a reason why at the moment you see a lot more human warriors than you see dwarf warriors, night elf warriors, or even gnome warriors. It's not just because humans are cooler. There's a reason behind this. How many night elf druids? Well, hey, it is what it is, man. But you get the point. You don't see that many Night Elf warriors out there. You might see some Night Elf warrior tanks due to the dodge chance, but for the most part it's human warrior human warriors. You see human warriors, you don't see Night Elf warriors, don't see dwarf warriors, don't see that many gnome warriors. There's a reason why you see humans. They perform better. People choose that. It's already like simming the best, and it's been data mined or theory crafted to be the best choice, and that's why people choose it. What happens now when the reasoning why people choose this is skill with swords and maces? Swords and maces in Classic WoW have typically been the go-to, especially swords from Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, even things like Gressel in Naxxramas. Sword skill is absolutely massive. That's why people chose humans. Sure, you get a bonus to reputation gains as well, and you get increased spirit, and stealth detection is also increased. But when it comes to your DPS, your output, your parses, a reputation increase matters absolutely nothing. Yes, if there's like a massive BIS item or pre-BIS item locked behind the reputation, you might get that item slightly faster, like 10% faster. But at the end of the game, when everything comes down to it, people choose their race based on the performance that they get at the end game. Now, there's been a couple of tweets about this. I also made some tweets about this. I reacted to some tweets about this. I want to highlight those because I did try to format this in a way that kind of makes sense on Twitter. If you haven't followed me yet, please consider doing so. I do go quite unhinged on YouTube, not YouTube, on Twitter sometimes. So let me read some of my initial thoughts here to the post. I'm also going to be opening the post itself in a different tab, so we can take a look at the initial post and also the reply that I tweeted to. So here we go. The first tweet by Agwend right here. It's based on this. He posted about the preview, and then we had a question. I'm curious if other racials will be available to all races, like weapon skill. Humans only had weapon skill to stand out, and after 60, having perception and plus 10% spirit seems a little bit lackluster. And it absolutely does. Like, we suddenly went from being... The reason, once again, why people chose humans is because they performed better. Now they suddenly don't. And even in my guild, I'm playing in a semi-hardcore / slightly casual guild. Half of my guild wants to be Horde now. Because of this. Like, let's just read the reply. I've had like 3 people message me something similar today, and I'm honestly struggling to grasp the concern. If you're struggling to grasp the concern right here, that makes me really worried about the game itself, man. Since I am assuming we are talking about PvE, yes we are, and the rep bonus is slightly impactful. It's really impactful, and it's a huge time saver. It is, but guess what? Nobody cares. We care about raid performance, and people choose their race based on raid performance. The reputation increase is a slight time saver, but will not help people parsing, will not help DPS that much. You might be able to get a pre-raid BIS item slightly faster, 10% faster. If it takes you 10 hours of rep grinding, you're saving 1 hour. I would rather spend that 1 extra hour to get my raid DPS increase through Blood Fury, Blood Rage, or Berserking Rage as well. Humans have been the undisputed king for any melee for all of Vanilla forever. I think it's okay if we spread the love a bit for seasonal content. Now, the next sentence here, we said from the very start that humans and orcs would not be the default choice for PvE. You did. And guess what you just did? You turned the default choice from humans to orcs. Like, that's the problem. That's the problem that I'm personally seeing. He's struggling to grasp the concern, but the concern for me is that they basically said from the start that you should just play what you want, and that you would be able to get the other racials. Or that racials shouldn't matter, and humans wouldn't be the choice for humans, or for melee. Instead of shifting the meta from one to the other, give Alliance Blood Fury and Berserking Rage. That's what we are asking for, right? Let's take a look at Sart's reply here that I retweeted as well, because this one is really important. I do agree that you mentioned people don't have to be forced to play human or orc, but the unfortunate reality with how min-maxing everyone plays classic to the detriment of fun sometimes, all competitive guilds are forced to reroll horde for PvE, unless paladins are somehow buffed to be way stronger than shamans, and feral druids, since shamans can do what both those classes bring and better currently. At the moment, being a paladin for example, the mana battery gives you about 250 mana to the entire raid. Shamans give several thousands. Having a shaman for like mana saving or mana like get mana back, they're 10 to 20 times better, and on top of that they do better DPS. So shamans are already better than paladins in pretty much every single way possible. And now they're shifting everything to just be very horde-centric, horde-focused, and anyone who really cares about their poor performance and output now wants to be horde. Once again, pulling this back to my guild, we're semi-casual / semi-hardcore, we're just trying to parse 90s and just have a good time. Half the guild wants to go horde, because of this one change. Because once again, they didn't talk at all about giving Alliance Blood Fury or Berserking Rage, and based on his reply right here, where he fails to understand the concern, the concern is that suddenly, if you're min-maxing, you want to play Horde. Unless we get Blood Fury and Blood Rage, Blood Fury and Berserking Rage. That is how easy it is. They could have saved themselves all of this drama, discussion, and all of this, whatever this is going to be called. It's causing a lot of drama in guilds, man, already. Even once again in my guild, semi-hardcore guild. Think about the real hardcore guilds. This is causing so many discussions and so much drama that could all have been avoided by Blizzard saying, yes, you will be able to get Blood Fury on the Alliance side and Berserking Rage as well. But the way they stated this when talking about it in their preview makes it seem like you only get to choose weapon skill. So sword skill, dagger skill, axe skill, stuff like that. And yes, once again, sure, humans can now have both their sword skill and their mace skill, and they can choose axe skill, which orcs usually have. But we don't have Blood Fury, and we don't have Berserking Rage. That's the problem here. We need to have those. And I also see a lot of people that have said... I see this one comment, I even saw it yesterday in my stream, that they're not taking anything away from the Alliance, because we still have sword skill. And how can I put this into a real world example? Because yes, we still have sword skill, but that was what we had. Like, people chose humans for their sword skill. And other people chose Horde for their racials. Now Horde gets the one good racial that people chose humans for. Imagine that you have the best car in the world. There's only one of this car in the entire world, and you have it. It's your bragging right. It's why you chose to buy this car. It's only one of them. You have that car. It's your car. Now, I have the best house in the world. I bought this house. There's only one of this house in the entire world. And that's my bragging right. Now, all of a sudden, you also get my house. But I don't get your car. Like, you get an exact replica of my house, which was my bragging right. But I don't get a replica of your car. So now you have the best car in the world and the best house in the world, while I only have one out of the two. Sure, I still have my house, but you have your house and your car. It's also kind of like, imagine if in real life you got to pick stats, and people in Norway chose intellect, people in Germany chose spirit. I'm just using that example because my best friend lives, or like one of my best friends lives in Germany. So Germany chose spirit, Norway chose intellect. Now all of a sudden Germany also got intellect. while Norway kept their intellect. We have intellect, Germany has intellect and spirit. Sure, we still have our intellect, but if you spawn in the same world right now, which one would you choose? When one has both intellect and spirit, and the other one only has intellect. It is so easy to understand the concern here, where suddenly the meta shifts from being alliance and human for sword skill to now being orc, because then you get axe skill, sword skill, and blood fury. That's like how I think about this. Let me see if I can get to my retweets here as well, so I can see what I wrote about the tweet. For the love of God, we need to give Alliance something equal to Blood Fury. Let me see if we can see everything here. Yeah, we can. Yeah, for the love of God, we need to give Alliance something equal to Blood Fury or Berserking Rage, or whatever the name of the Orc and Troll racials are. Half of my guild is already considering rerolling Horde, or quitting entirely. And that's true, by the way, after this change. 3 people in my raid 2 days ago, they said, if this stays the way it is, we either go Horde or quit. So like, if you fail to grasp the concern about this, that's the concern, that people are either choosing to go Horde right now or quit. Right? Now, I retweeted this entire thing as well and made some comments. You say in your tweet you struggle to see the concern, yet you follow up with, we said from the very start that humans and orcs would not be the default choice for PvE. What exactly do you think will happen when orcs have Blood Fury and sword skill? The same people that chose to play human warriors instead of, for example, night elf warriors, who choose what to play based on performance, which is a lot of people in Classic WoW, now feel a strong urge to reroll Horde instead of Alliance, since they get our good PvE racials. I do agree that having reputation bonuses is nice, but this is Classic WoW, plus 10% rep will not help my endgame parses. You wanna give Horde our weapon skill or sword skill, give us Blood Fury and Berserking. A lot of PvE players are already going Horde because shamans are so busted and give a lot of mana back to their group. For reference, the Ret Paladin mana battery rune gives about 200 mana back over a fight, while shamans give several thousands. Alliance, picking the wrong faction, handshake. So, yeah, I mean, Alliance players, we just picked the wrong faction. At some point we just have to like suck it up and realize that, but we chose the wrong faction. This time around. Especially if they get our sword skill. It's weird, man. F it, I'm rerolling Shaman. Yeah. Does Horde get Salve? They don't need Salve. The balance was sword skill versus Blood Fury, now it's Blood Fury versus Perception. I love Perception, man. Yeah, being Alliance and having Perception is so good. Finally, we can use Perception, and we can actually like be the best players in the world. I love Perception so much. Yo, what's up? Yo, Spato, what's up, man? We're just out here molding over the changes coming in Phase 4. Now, I hope this gets changed, by the way. I hope we do get Salve at 60 is crazy. Yeah. But also, do you know what's crazy, though? Being an orc and having sword skill and Blood Fury. That's crazy. So this different, I suppose? It really is. SOD is different, and being an orc and having sword skill and Blood Fury, sheesh, that is massive. I played Orc Rogue, yeah, so you know, you know. The big thing is you can't even go Horde because server balancing between factions. Exactly, and that's why the people in my guild, they said either we go Horde or we quit. Because if we have to resort to playing the inferior faction, then why would we? Like, if Horde gets our good racials, we don't get their good racials, they literally said they're going to quit. And a lot of people might say that's the wrong attitude to have, but the reality is we live in 2024, we're playing Classic WoW, people love parsing, people love min-maxing, if they can't min-max, they don't want to play. That is the reality we live in, and I'm kind of the same. I usually live by one rule when I'm playing the game, and that is that I have to have the option to be the best. I don't have to be the best, but I have to have the option to become the best. And if Horde has both Blood Fury and Sword Skill and we don't have Blood Fury, then Alliance literally can't be top 1. They can't be the best. In that case, if nothing changes. Now, thankfully, this is for Phase 4. It's not coming until Phase 4, so the more people talk about this, the more people raise their concerns, the more feedback they get, and the higher the chances are that we get Blood Fury and Berserking Rage on the Alliance side as well. But if nobody talks about this, then we don't get it, right? But it's Phase 4 stuff, so at the end of the day, I'm just gonna enjoy Phase 3, but this has to be talked about. And yeah, like, let me know your thoughts on everything. We've been having this discussion right now in Twitch chat, so feel free to talk about this. I might be completely wrong, by the way. I just have a firm opinion on this. My opinion might be garbage. I don't know. But I'm just stating my opinion. I think that Horde getting Sword Skill, while Alliance not getting Blood Fury, and Berserking Rage, is absolutely dog crap. That is my opinion. Aren't you just parsing against the other Alliance though? Or do parsers actually try and compare their speedruns to Horde or vice versa? Yeah, no, it's like a worldwide thing. It's up to you individually what you compare yourself against. You can go like, you can compare yourself only against your class. You can compare yourself based on item level. You can do a guild versus like Alliance versus Alliance or your servers. But most people just look at their parsers worldwide. And then it's like warrior parsing worldwide. They want to be number 1. And you are competing against everyone for the most part, yeah. Solheim, did you happen to catch what level we can get dual spec at in Phase 3? I don't. Did they? I think they actually talked about this, didn't they, in their preview? When they highlighted this. Well, didn't talk about it, but it's in the picture. There was like a small little picture about dual spec, which I'm trying to get to. I think is level 50. No, you have to, okay, you have to have a character. Let me put this up right now. We can take a look at it right here. Reading the bottom here. Ahoy, they call me Brightbeard, and I hail from a faraway land to the east. I come seeking to educate those with the proper aptitude and sufficient deep pockets to become truly multi-talented individuals. No, literally, I can teach you to utilize multiple different talent specializations. Want to give it a go? All you need to have is a sack of 50 gold pieces and to have reached at least level 40 as an adventurer. So level 40 and 50 gold. Those are the 2 requirements. Which means that when the next phase comes out, as long as you find this guy wherever he is, you can just get it right away. So level 40 and 50 gold. That's pretty good. Especially for me as a mage, because I'm going to be farming as a frost for a bit. Side issue with this, if all weapons can have a free weapon skill, is there going to be a caster skill ratio? Otherwise, all physical damage dealers just don't have as much hit they need. A caster skill ratio. What do you mean? We basically already have a caster skill ratio as a troll, so if we can pick that one, that would be great, because then we have like... If they're going to allow people to choose weapon skill, why not just allow us to choose other ratios as well? As a mage, for example, if I can get Berserking Rage, that would be great. That increases casting speed, right? So that would be great. I just feel like them handpicking the ratios we can get, it's weird. Let me die. Oh, come on, man. If everyone gets to have their weapon skill, that's less hit they need. Yeah, true. I would love to get, like, Berserking Rage as a... Berserking... I think it's... Is it just called Berserking? I think maybe it is. It's like 10% casting speed or something. It's pretty good. But yeah, this whole thing is causing a lot of discussions in the classic WoW space, and it might be overreacting, but at the same time, personally, I don't think it is. Because it's just making so many people either want to quit or go to the Horde side, which going Horde wouldn't be a problem, except for the fact that right now we have a forced faction balance. So we can't have a PvP server with 100% Horde, for example. But if we could, I could basically guarantee that we might see some of those in the next phase. I don't die here, right? Yeah, perfect. How's this? Alliance can have Blood Fury and Berserking, but you have to wear and display the Halloween mask of the racial you picked up. I mean, I don't mind that, as long as Horde would have to do the same thing for weapon skills. So for them to have sword skills, they would then have to wear the Halloween mask of a human. It's just like, if they're going to go down the route of allowing you to pick pick racials, allow us to pick between all of them. Because that would really build upon their idea of allowing everyone to play whatever they need, or like whatever they want, not based on performance, but based on like role-playing reasons or other reasons, whatever their reasoning is, right? You could be a human and have the PvP racials of an undead, for example. Right, if we die, then that's fine, because I'm going to take the rest sickness anyway. It's like, I'm close to my corpse, but I need to get some flight paths, and I have to do some stuff over here. It's another reduction in meaningless choices, yeah. I just feel like they basically tried to talk about this before Season of Discovery came out, that you should just play whatever you want to play, not based on performance, but based on like role-playing reasons, or whatever you want to play, and you should never feel forced to play a certain race, but now we really do. It's just, instead of being forced to play human, you're forced to be Horde and be Orc or Troll. So it's shifting the meta from one to another one. Just allow us to be whatever we want and pick any of the racials we want to have. I don't see the problem in just allowing us to pick between all the racials and not just the sword skill or weapon skills. Excluding this to only weapon skill just causes a lot of unnecessary drama that can be so easily avoided. Very easily avoided. And all they had to do was just mention that in the PowerPoint, that you will be able to pick between all the racials, not just weapon skill. Boom. Everyone is happy. Everyone's happy. Literally, nobody would not be happy about that, I feel like. Nobody. Because then, if you're playing Horde, you can get the weapon skill from being human for PvP. If you're Alliance and you care more about PvP, you can get the Will of the Forsaken, or like the Will of whatever. You can be like Will of Humans, Will of whatever. Just the same racial with a different name, right? And you can be undead and get perception. I think that would be great. I hunkered down in a mud hut. I earned this. Oh my days. Oh my days. Yeah, no, I don't know anymore, man. I guess we're just gonna have to wait until phase 4 and see what happens, because like if they go ahead and just give everyone the weapon skills and do nothing about Blood Fury and Berserking Rage, I can guarantee it's gonna be a shit show. So many Alliance players, especially top-end guilds, will cry and whine, and they will go to the Horde side, myself included, and my guild, and all the other top guilds as well. Like, people already go to the Horde side because of shamans. So, like, now you have another incentive to play Horde. I'm gonna die again here, aren't I? Because I don't have any way to, like... I have travel form, but that's all I have. I might be fine. Even with rest sickness, we might be fine. Just barely. You added the weapon skill issue and doubling up on STV. It isn't helping some. Yeah, dude. They make the whole drama around the weapon skill, and instead of giving us a new PvP event in Phase 3, they double down on STV, which I'm so done with, by the way. The Strangleton Vale event, I'm so done with. Oh, yeah, it's they made a lot of good decisions to then make a couple of bad ones that they have to rectify sooner rather than later, man. They have to make some swift adjustments, and just... The good thing about this is that the development team has been really good on communications, so I'm hoping they clear this up really fast. Like, we're talking really fast. They have to clear this up, like... Preferably before the Phase 3 comes out, dude. Preferably before Phase 3 comes out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this entire thing in the comments down below as well, and in the chat right now. Because I would love to hear some more point of views. Once again, I could be so coped out of my mind, and my opinion could be so wrong. I have no idea. I'm just very passionate about this, and I do have an opinion that I'm allowed to have, and I'm allowed to share. Yo, Paladin, please. Can you just pull all of them? Oh, why couldn't you just pull all of them, man? Oh, you... Blessed? 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 So fucking blessed, dude. Yeah, I have rest sickness, so I would not be able to survive that at all. I'm just doing the back and forth quest here as soon as possible, and then we're gonna go and get the rune as well. At Solheim, also what happens when the guild starts trying to change the horde and half the guild can't because of faction balance locks, we just go to a different server. Yeah. We don't have to be on like the most popular server. But then again, the other PvP server on the European side is 48% horde, so it should be fine. Based on there being 45,000 people and a 4% difference, I suck at math, but 1,000 people should then be able to go to the horde side, at least. Maybe between 1 and 2,000 before it gets locked, so between actually 2,500 I think, and my guild is 30 people. So 100 guilds can go to the horde side before it gets locked. So it shouldn't really be a problem. Well, it will be. If everyone goes to the horde side, it will be a problem. But then I'm just gonna go to a PvE server. Right? Literally go PvE server. Because then the faction balance doesn't matter at all. Problem solved. If horde is gonna be the vastly superior faction to play for PvE, why would I be Alliance? Why would anyone be Alliance?